Thank you, Pavlos, for this nice introduction. Let me just say first, although it's 1st of April, everything I'm going to say it's true, okay? So don't worry. We are not fooling you. What the first project we'll talk about is naturally CEEGS, who is sort of organizer of this clustering event. And some of you already know, but I will introduce CEEGS anyhow because several of you, this is a novel presentation. CEEGS deals with novel CO2-based electrothermal energy storage. So basically what we are doing is, and I will repeat this several times during the presentation, is that we are trying to use the CO2 as a media to store energy underground. And I would love to go to the second slide. Okay. So the consortium is very various. It comes from 10 partners from 5 countries, but we still, through EFG, have connections to linked or associated entities. So there's not only 10 partners, we actually can get contributions from all the several members from EFG, that is European Federation of Geologists. And with that, we bring together multiple skills and also experience. And for us, for geologists, this CEEGS has been a really rewarding experience because it brings together also the knowledge from other sectors which we are less aware of. So the basic idea is, like I said, we are combining renewable energy storage, so that is underground storage in geological formation for the geothermal heat extraction and utilization. And for that, we use media that is much better from the physical perspective than water, that is CO2. And this is only the first step, we say, because we anticipate, like I'll show later on, three phases, 3 separate projects as a phases, not like today when we have this lump sum and we have to split everything in phases. But this is the first phase. So we are trying to prove the concept and bring it from TRL2, which is the lowest portion of some portions of the project or the concept, to the technological readiness level 4. And that is the final goal of the CEEGS. So what we are trying to address are the several issues that are hanging out there for Europeans to address, and that is autonomous power point operating using CO2 in a closed loop. Then novel integration of round-trip efficiencies, which CO2 utilization brings. Then to increase the energy storage capacity and to diversify production from several renewable energy sources, so combining several of them together, and of course help also to decarbonize the society by using CO2 that is produced as a let's say a waste or a side product, and instead of releasing it out or storing it underground, we can use it also for this heat and energy extraction. And we anticipated that the capex and opex are relatively minimal or small. They're of course never small as from the normal personal perspective, but from the energy perspective, from the operational perspective, this expenses are rather low. And with that, we also help entities that would apply or utilize this methodology to reduce costs. And at the end, we try to address also the really effective energy utilization. So providing power plants that could produce a larger amount of energy. The challenges we are facing, I won't go into details, but there are basically 3. So the first one would be how to integrate the surface and subsurface components into one viable and operational system. And then the second challenge would be how to design novel components that are adapted to specific scenarios in nature, because we are dealing with lots of variables when we talk about nature. It's not the same as doing things in the laboratory, so we need to also provide a viable and feasible design. And the third challenge we see is also very important, is not only the technical, but also techno-economical, and also the societal challenge, because we know that every new technology is at first seen as something potentially detrimental either to environment or to society. So we try to also address these challenges, how to bring the honest and unbiased explanation to the wider public and to the end users. So the technical approach would be, like I already mentioned, try to address a very effective energy storage in the underground geological formations, and to use geothermal or actually the thermodynamic um, properties of CO2 to increase the capacity of energy production as we know it from the geothermal or groundwater utilization. And with that, we estimate that the efficiency would be much higher. It would be 40 to 60%. And of course, since we need a sort of natural battery or the storage for the CO2, we will utilize the potential areas where we can actually store CO2 underground and then reuse it for the energy production. And what are the expected results and impacts is that we will, based on sort of combining um, um, several levels of storage technology concept, we will address several of existing barriers that are out there, and of course help to obtain or to lower CO2 emissions into the environment. And by that, we will help to diversify the power production, the heat production, and of course, at the ultimate level, we would wish and we would expect that the technology would be also used in a large scale energy operations. What this is sort of an integration of what the CEEGS is. So what we are aiming to do is to integrate thermoelectric energy storage using CO2. Why? To reduce both CO2 emissions and to optimize the system of underground storage and reuse of media for the energy storage, and to prove the concept at TRL4. And by that, I say we finish sort of the first period or the first part of the idea of the development of the project. And hopefully we will then prove it and then enter in the second phase and also in the third phase. So I've just explained this. So the first stage or the first phase goes up from TRL2 to TRL4, and you can see we will also make some on-site concept proofs or tests to show that it actually works also in nature, not only in the laboratory. And then after the first period or the first stage, like I said, we anticipated two more. So building the first demonstrator, which much larger power that would actually integrate all these components together and bring it to the TRL6. And then at the third stage, we would actually bring it to the operational level to be used widely, of course, where the potential lies, because we are dependent on geological storage capacities. So where the potential lies in Europe, and maybe even further to sell the technology to the global market. I won't go into these details because you can read them yourself, and also it will be available for you afterwards. I would like to take this opportunity also to ask you all if you could share our call for the video contest, which is the part of the outreach and dissemination activities within CEEGS. And we are searching for young, mainly young, but not only young, also a bit older participants, but we try to engage the younger generation with this contest. So I'm asking you to help us to share this video contest information, and there are nice prizes waiting for everybody, not for everybody, for the first three, and then for the fourth, which I think is from the younger generation, it's going to be picked up. Anyhow, it closes at the end of this month, and we have some applications or submissions, but of course, the more we get, the better the selection. So thank you for helping us in that. And that is basically all from my side. And I leave the discussion open after we have all the presentations presented. Thank you very much, Pavlos, and everybody else.